Beware of the Ides of March. So Julius Caesar was told by the soothsayer. Caesar dismissed the soothsayer by saying he was a dreamer. Let's proceed. A few days later, Caesar was assassinated. The Ides of March among the ancient Romans marked a debt beyond which you could not be allowed to go if you had a debt. You had to pay your debts before the Ides of March. Of course, then it also begins the beginning of the middle of month. Raila Odinga has declared 20th of March a date with destiny. I stand here today to ask President William Samoei Ruto to be aware of the 20th of March. I pray and hope that nothing bad happens to the country. But my hopes and prayers may unfortunately not be enough. At the expiry of the 14-day ultimatum given by Raila Odinga on Thursday this week, many expected that Raila Odinga will have people spill into the streets. To many, that day was anticlimax. There are those who had believed Raila would move into the city center, Kenyatta Avenue, Moi Avenue, and perhaps outside the Kenya Cinema, standing where Jomo Kenyatta stood to take a salute from the armed forces after the unfortunate events surrounding the assassination of J.M. Kariuki in 1975.
We at Nairobi Review appreciate the support you have given Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. Through your financial support, we've been able to reach millions of Kenyans and produce quality content every single day. It hasn't been easy, and therefore we appreciate you for subscribing, sharing, and watching us every single day. Whether you're a long-term fan or just discovering this YouTube channel, your financial support can make a huge difference. You can M-Pesa us via 0768 074 076 or use till number 964 4543. That is 0768 074 076 or M-Pesa till number 964 4543. We highly appreciate your support.
But none of that happened. Raila instead chose to address the nation and indeed the world from a tent at his offices at the Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Foundation. So people dismissed him. Some people said it was a joke. But I want to interpret it in this manner, that Raila Odinga is playing this game in a different way. If we had had people spill into Nairobi streets and perhaps elsewhere, that would have been predictable. And his enemies, those on the other side, having predicted the move, will easily have quelled the move. And therefore I invite government to be a little worried that the man you are dealing with is not predictable anymore. A couple of weeks ago, a month or two ago, on a local TV station, on a breakfast show, morning show, I said this is a different Raila. I even speculated that I would not be surprised to see him donning military fatigues. On Thursday this week, he was in some form of uniform. Be aware of the 20th of March, dear Kenyans. This is not a joke. How I wish it was a joke. I'm such a peace-loving Kenyan, a man whose love for country is unmatched. But I'm realistic enough to know that these are dangerous times. I invite those on the other side to look more critically at the new Raila Odinga. That day, I was chatting to one of those boys on phone. I don't know why they call me. I think they should stop calling me. He said he had worked with Raila for 15 years. He had never seen the Raila he was seeing that day. This is the same script I'm talking about. Those who think they will dismiss Raila Odinga, those who think they will manage Raila Odinga, have, as Americans would say, another thing coming. And therefore the way to deal with the new Raila is not to base yourself on past patterns. Is not to think you can do so using force. Because the new Raila, whom you must understand, is a product of forces that have hardened him. The new Raila, whom you could see as a general, leading troops who have nothing to lose. We live in a country where millions upon millions of people have lost hope. This is a dangerous situation. You're dealing with a Raila Odinga who has been let down by foreign powers. Foreign countries that he fought so hard to please. Let down by systems he worked so hard with. The Raila Odinga who has been let down, disappointed by the constitution he fought so hard to put in place. The Raila who has been let down by the institutions he fought so hard to bring to surface. The institutions we gave ourselves in the 2010 constitution to ensure that what happened in 2007, 2008 never occurs again in this country. Because we got so close to ending our country as we knew it then. And we said to ourselves, never again shall we allow this country to move so close to danger. And Raila Odinga, more than anybody else, fought so hard to ensure whenever there will be a dispute, there will be neutral arbiters, the Supreme Courts. I think, in his own words, he's disappointed and they have let him down. Not to go back to the Electoral Commission of the late Kivuitu. Raila fought so hard with other Kenyans to create an independent electoral body. They've let him down. And many of the people who deride, many of the people who talk ill about Raila, forget it's just human like you and I. And many of the people enjoying the power, the stage from which they pronounce unprintable words against Raila, have wrote those positions on the back of Raila Odinga. Many who have power in this country today enjoy the power that has come on Raila's back. And yes, Raila is a hardened man. Here is a general who has nothing to lose. He leads troops that have nothing to lose. This is a country sharply divided. A country where people are hungry and angry, where the cost of living is unbearable. Today, as the sun scorches the earth in this country, as many take empty bellies to bed, perhaps to be worked on by bedbugs, we live in a country that is on edge. And therefore, I must end where I started. Beware of the 20th of March, President William Arap Moi. William Arap Ruto. Arap Moi. This is not a warning. I'm not scaring anybody. I'm just saying, look at the timing. Things are happening in Africa and beyond. Where the Arab Spring started in Tunisia, this week there have been things going on. There's trouble in Nigeria, Africa's biggest democracy, the fourth largest democracy in the world, with an election that is disputed. We don't know where that is heading to. On the 20th of March, Malema promises to bring South Africa to a standstill, to ensure certain things are done for South Africans. And above all, to jettison Ramaphosa out of the presidency. The timing could not be worse. You can imagine international media focusing on Africa. CNN. Let's now hear from our reporter in Pretoria, South Africa. Yes, are you there in Johannesburg? What is happening? Split screen, Nairobi, Kenya. Abuja, Lagos, Nigeria. You cannot wish this on anybody, even your enemy. I'm among the few Kenyans who would wish to petition the country, to petition Raila Odinga and William Ruto. Because when I close my eyes and open them, I don't see anything that resembles good. And I think about the children of this country. I think about the children of our children. The desire I have is that our children's children should find a country much better than the one we enjoy today. But I fear they may find a shell of a country. That stories of Kenya today would be like stories about paradise to our grandchildren. Because then things will be so bad, they would give anything to live in the Kenya of 2022. That is not what you'd wish for your child. That's not what you'll wish for your granddaughter. I therefore petition the President and Raila Odinga to think about country, to think about history, to think about future, and to know the future of this country that is bleeding and suffering, burning under the sun. This country can be given hope. That hope can come from the two gentlemen sitting together not to have a handshake government, not to do an usumukate government, but to discuss about the hopes for the people of this country. For the president, I've repeated, the political question has been licked. Pass it, sit with Raila Odinga. To the president, I repeat again, do something about the biting cost of living. It is within the power of the president to reduce the cost of diesel, petrol, electricity, and above all, the cost of food. As I wind up, I remind the president that beyond even thinking about the cost of food, this country at this time must engage and think about waiving school fees until times change, and entering into agreements with the big pharmaceutical companies in India and China to flood our hospitals with medicine so that the little money Kenyans have will not go to medicine and to school fees, that they may survive with that money. This is not time for bravado. This is time for Raila Odinga to show statesmanship. And this time for Raila Odinga to sit down with Ruto. It's time for President Ruto to lower the cost of living and to engage Raila in a political conversation so that we do not have to worry about bad things happen in this country. I beseech the two of you to think about a future of your great-great-grandchildren.